Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is the spin-off game to the 3 levels of Super Mario 3D World. And it's basically featured around Captain Toad going off to rescue Toadette. But that's just episode 1. There are 2 other episodes there as well. And when this game was announced at E3 earlier this year, I was like, wait, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker? You mean like the 3 levels from Super Mario 3D World? That doesn't sound interesting. But then more gameplay footage came out, and I actually really was excited for this game right after Super Smash Bros. Review for that coming soon. I'm proud to say that Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is actually a really fun game. The controls, even though you do have to move the Wii U pad around to move the camera and the joystick, which could get a bit frustrating at times when you're focused on it with the joystick, then all of a sudden you make a slight move with your Wii U and you're just like, oh wait, no, go back, ah! Other than that, the graphics are amazing. They look just like Super Mario 3D World. In fact, the menu when you have to like press start and it's like continue exit course or something, it looks kind of like Super Mario 3D World because this is from Super Mario 3D World, so naturally it would look like that, I guess. And the difficulty of the puzzles after a while actually was pretty good. I, after a while, had some trouble getting all 3 of the diamonds, and I still haven't gotten all 3 of them for every single one. I'm still gonna have to go back and go get them. And I actually liked how you had to take down the boss. Like, the bird, you have to fight him a couple times, and I actually kind of liked it, how you have to pluck stuff out of the ground, throw it at him. And that was just kind of interesting, because you don't have any power-ups like Mario, you're just plain old Captain Toad, and I'm glad they didn't just throw them in, like, oh, all of a sudden you have lots of power-ups, you can now have the ability to jump, so go ahead and take that bird out. I'm actually glad they didn't do that, and they just stuck with the Captain Toad stuff. And even though the middle boss of each episode, it was the same guy, just maybe a different level design, I actually kind of like that too, because it wasn't power-ups also, and you didn't throw stuff at him. You actually just had to kind of avoid the fire and manage to get the diamonds and the star without, you know, getting burnt alive or by the magma or the fire he's spitting out. Yeah, that boss actually kind of got old after a while. I was like, oh yeah, it's that guy again in episode 2. Then episode 3, I was like, oh yeah, that guy. You couldn't pick 2 other bosses? I mean, it's only 3 episodes. Pick 2 other middle bosses for that? No, you couldn't? Okay, you just painted him gold for episode 3? Okay, I guess so. That works. Maybe. And there's one other thing I didn't like about this game was that it added in the you suck feature again. You know how this started in New Super Mario Bros. 2 where all of a sudden if you died a couple times on a level, all of a sudden this thing would pop up like an invincibility Tanuki suit, and all of a sudden you had that for the entire rest of the level? Yeah, and that came back in Super Mario 3D Land. I'm not sure if it did for 3D World, but it came back here in Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Pluck it out of the ground and you're invincible. All you gotta do is just make it to your destination. And that just really takes away the fun and enjoyment out of it, because in a game, you do have to overcome some things. It does take some skill, but then all of a sudden if you get this, and then you're just invincible to it, then how do you learn and grow for other levels? It's just, oh man, this sucks. Well, good thing that if I die a couple more times, I'll get that invincibility thing. I don't have to worry about it. Ain't that cool? But I still like this game. I think if you just took that out and maybe added into other middle bosses, I think this would have been a really great game. And I think that it could have been one of my favorites right next to Super Smash Bros. For Wii U reviews coming soon! And one other thing that I like about this game is something to do with the ending of the game that I will not spoil, because it is kind of a thing that people might not want to be spoiled if they hadn't completed the game and they want to see it themselves. So after I give the rating, I will talk about that briefly. And all I can say for non-spoiler is that it actually makes me think a bit about this whole game, how it started in the first place, but you'll see. So overall, I'm going to give Captain Toad Treasure Tracker a 4 out of 5. I think it is a really fun game, and I also like that the difficulty gets harder as it goes on, so it's not just an easy run around, get it, leave, which is good. It's a really good game. If you really want to play it, do so, because it is good. Now, the thing I was talking about, the ending of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is at episode 3, and at first it showed like the green star coming down and Captain Toad and Toadette are in the minecart, and he's like, oh, I gotta go get that, and he leaves Toadette there. And then all of a sudden the first cutscene from Super Mario 3D World starts to play. I was like, wait, are we playing Super Mario 3D World right now? What's going on here? Then that cutscene finishes. Or does it? It keeps going on for a couple seconds, and you see that green star start to come down into the pipe, and then Captain Toad come in and fall in, which explains how he got there in Super Mario 3D World. Now, I like that because it makes me think a bit, because it says the adventure continues to Super Mario 3D World, whatever. Was Captain Toad Treasure Tracker made after Super Mario 3D World because of those levels, or was Captain Toad Treasure Tracker in development before Super Mario 3D World, and the 3 levels in Super Mario 3D World were to kind of give you a taste of what was to come? It just makes me think, and I like that. So if you've played Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, leave in the comments below of what you thought of it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.